I'm interested from a more practical aspect. If we take into consideration things that have previously happened with technological advances, especially in regard to cost to the consumer. So as a person who drives his own car, how would the potential of a self-driving car impact things like insurance costs? Because one could imagine that an insurance company at some point in the future, when we get to stage 5, as you described it, wouldn't even potentially allow someone to operate a car on his or her own, especially if we can reduce fatalities at such level, because we're looking at a disparity between the ability of a person to get drunk and have an accident versus a machine perfectly executing something like that. So do you think that one should draw a line, or is it going to be a hard level flip at some point? Are we going to have this discussion where we say maybe humans shouldn't drive at all anymore?
It's a very good question. Before we talk about the cost, it's a question of liability. Today, the industry works like this. You can put a lot of liability on the driver. Yeah, so because the driver is driving. So when the driver is not driving, who is liable for what? Is it the OEMs, the manufacturer of the car, or is it a company like Uber or Waymo who are operating the AV autonomous vehicle fleets? Or is it the Tier 1 supplier who supplied the braking system? Or is it a Tier 2 company like us who built the software for the braking system? Who's liable? That question is not answered till today. So if the insurance companies has to take the liability, I think this will be interesting to see how that develops. If it will reduce cost or if it will not reduce cost. I would tend to say that since you can put the liability on the driver, today insurance companies or anybody would be more interested on that. And it's also a question if the OEMs, the manufacturers or the operators will have to take that much of a liability. Will AV actually happen in reality? I don't know. This is what we have to see, because it's unrealistic to give all the liabilities to the vehicle manufacturer. It's unrealistic to give all the liability to a Tier 1 supplier. And who will take the liability? I mean, so far, if there were millions of cars, there were millions of people where you can distribute the liability in a way that was what didn't harm the industry in a sense. Well, it was not good for the individuals, and which made the individuals more responsible, probably. Now we don't know. Who to sue? When something happens, who do you sue? You can't sue the driver because he's not driving. Who do you sue is the question.